There are a plethora of details that come into play when you're selling your home, not the least of which is seller's disclosures. What do you disclose? How important is it? We're going to dive into that today, so stay tuned. We'll give you the top 3 that if you figure these out, you should be fine. The specifics vary by state, but here in South Florida and specifically in Palm Beach County, what's important to know that seller disclosures provide transparency to a transaction. That means you must disclose in writing things that could materially affect the value of the property. Let's dive into the first point. Number 1, country clubs and homeowners associations. You may love where you live. The rules, the guidelines, the people you're around are perfect for you. What you need to remember is that when you go to sell it, everybody has different criteria. So being able to pass on to the next buyer the specifics regarding the application process, the architectural guidelines, the rules and regulations, and also the financials are imperative. Make sure that you disclose the last meeting minutes as well as the most recent financials. Key point number 2 are repairs. Have you done repairs to your property? Were repairs done before you purchased it? Were there major renovations on an older home to bring it current? These are the items that can get sticky in a selling situation. You want to do your research prior to sale. Were there structural items fixed? Were there major electrical or plumbing issues addressed or updated? If you are fully aware of those up front, it solves a lot of problems down the road. We ended up in a situation where we had a 3 or 4 month delay between 2 high-profile clients, a buyer and a seller. If all this is figured out up front, maybe even doing an inspection up front is what we recommend. That way, everything's disclosed. The seller can still allow the buyer to get their own inspection, but it prevents a lot of difficulties and allows for you as the seller to go quickly to a transaction closing. The final key point is federally mandated disclosures. In this case, we're going to discuss lead-based paint. If you live in a new construction home, it doesn't apply to you. But for homes that were built prior to 1978, this is very important because you must disclose in writing that there may be exposure to lead-based paint. There's a pamphlet and also an insert to the contract. You may be in a situation where you have a home that looks brand new, but if it was built prior to 1978 and there were renovations since then, it can get blurry, it can get questionable. Reach out to us and we can help you navigate that. When things get blurry and you're not sure, remember this age-old rule: if in doubt, disclose. It's always easier to deal with something up front than when you're already in a contract. And if you're not sure which path to take, reach out to us. Not only for this, but for any real estate related matter, even if it's just questions regarding something simple or a service provider that you need. Phone, text, or email is okay. And if we don't have an answer, we'll connect you to a professional who does.